Jai Jinendra, Namaste and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to solve the 46th question of the problem solving series and the 6th question of the stack. The difficulty level for this question is hard and this question has been asked in Google, Facebook, Microsoft and Amazon. In fact, this question was asked to me in Amazon and I was not able to optimize this solution, the exact right solution. This was like 7 or 8 months back. So I have learned how to solve this now and I'm going to discuss this question. This is an important question. Not much discussed, not much popular, but it is kind of asked in the interviews nowadays, the recent interviews. So yeah, let's discuss it. Basic calculator or evaluate expression. Okay. So we are given a string which is a valid expression, right? And we need to evaluate this expression. Okay. So basic calculator, why? Because this expression, this string contains only plus, minus and this first bracket, okay, and the digits, nothing else like into, divide and any other arithmetic operation it doesn't contain. It simply contains plus, minus, digits, this brackets and space maybe, okay. So we can see this example, okay. So 1 and here suppose this is space, so there could be space between the numbers. These are not the numbers now, these are the characters, right? And we need to evaluate this. So what is 1 minus 3 plus 4? We know it's 4 plus 1, 5 minus 3, 2, right? And what is the value of this one? 1 plus 12 minus 3. 12 minus 3 is we know first one. So we will first calculate this. 12 minus 3 is 9. 9 plus 5 is 14, plus 1 15. Then 3 minus 4 is minus 1. 15 minus 1 is 14. 14 plus 5 is 19. I have done correctly. 5, 3 minus 1, 4. 4 plus 1, 5. 12 minus 3, 9 plus 5, 14. 14 plus 1, yeah. Okay. Now how do we calculate this? Okay, these are characters. These are not the numbers, integers. So what is the first thing that we need to do as part of solving this problem? We need to convert the alphabets, these characters into digits, right, into numbers. So it's for example 12. Okay, see this 1 is another character and the 2 is another character. But since it is together, so it is 12. It's not 1, 2, right? So we need to do this as part of this, okay? First, convert the digits into its actual number. Okay, now when we get a plus and when we get a minus, we need to subtract it automatically, right? So for example, if we get this expression, so we see, okay, this is 1. So we need to have this value over here, right? 1, we have 1, okay? And then we get a minus operation, okay? And then we get a 3. So this 1 minus 3 is 2. So this is negative. We need to understand, okay, when this negative comes, that the next number is going to be a negative number. Okay, when this plus is there, it's a positive number. So we need to maintain the sign and we need to check whether it's a minus or a plus, because we don't have any multiply and everything, right? So the first thing is number. Okay, we use this. And the second thing is sign. Okay, number and sign we need to evaluate. Now, okay, we will just find it and we'll add it in the number. We'll have this digits sum and we'll keep on adding it and subtracting it. This will be solved, but we have bracket. Now in the bracket, for example here, we can see plus is there. So this is normal addition. When this bracket is there, this plus is there, we'll add it, right? But suppose if it is a subtraction, if this was subtracted, right, it was minus, then this whole expression actually becomes negative, right? So we have this and this, right, and this is together. So we need to we need to have this value and then we can't directly add the whole thing. We have to have this value stored somewhere and then we need to calculate this. Once this calculation is done, and since this is negative, so this will become negative and then we will calculate this whole thing again, right? So numbers, between numbers there is an operation, right? So we need to store the previous value. and then calculate, and then when we have this whole thing again there is a bracket that comes. So again we need to do this. So we'll evaluate this whole thing. This one we got this value 1, okay. Now we got this new value 12 minus 3 plus 5, okay. So we have this 9 plus 5 14, okay. Now we have 1 and 14 and we have minus. So we stored 1 and then we know this is 14, so we stored the sign, so this is minus 14. So we have this minus 14 and 1, so we will add it. So we need to have this value stored. Where will we store? We will store it in stack, okay. So once we have this 1 value, so this 1 is stored and this 14 value, so this 14 is stored. So this thing has to be calculated. Say 1 minus 14 is minus 13, and then this is which becomes our first operand, and then we have a plus here, and then we calculate this 3 minus 4 is minus 1, and this again we calculate. So minus 13 minus 1 becomes minus 14. So this is one operand, and then again we get a 5. So we calculate this, and this minus 14 plus 5 becomes minus 9. So we have getting minus 9 because I just changed this, right? So since we have this bracket, we need to store the values, right? So for storing the value, as we have seen, we need stack, right? Because we are calculating it, so so it would be getting the last and the first value and getting the new number, right? Incrementally. So we will use stack. So let me solve this problem. Let me code this, and then I'll explain the code line side by side when I'm coding it, and then I'll try run for a new example, or okay, or this example. Any example we'll take. Okay. So what we'll have a int sum equal to 0. We will have a num. We will evaluate the digit, and we will have a sign as my 1 by default. If it's positive, we will take. So these 3 variables will have. We will have a stack, and we will take a pair of int in the stack. Okay, since we will store the number as well as the sign as well. Okay, so say stack is this. Okay, now let's traverse the string for I equal to 0 to s dot size. Okay, now what do we do? And in the end we will return sum, whatever the value we get. Okay, so in the one thing it can be that while si is digit si. If we are getting a digit every time, okay, then what we will do, we will get the value for the digit as num is equal to num into 10 plus si minus 0. So what we have done here, so since for example 12 we got, first number is, this is the number 12 minus 3 plus 4, so our answer is 9, 9 plus 4 13. Okay, so 12 is the first character, so we get 1, so 1 into 0 plus si minus, so string, this is string, right? String minus 0, this is the character, so 1 minus 0 ASCII code, it will become 1 actually. This is the character, this is the character. The ASCII code of 1 character and 0 character difference would be 1. So we will get 1, and 0 into 10 will be 0 into 10 will be 0. 0 into 10 will be 0, and 1 minus 0 is 1. So we have got 1. Okay. Now again we get the next character as 2. 2 is also a digit. Then what will happen? To 1, num's value was 1. So now num will become 1 into 10 plus 2 minus 0, 12. Okay. So in this way we will get the value of num. right? So if suppose 123 was there, so 12 into 10 plus this. Okay, so we get the value of num and yeah. So while this is there, if it is digit, okay. So if what we'll do, if SI is a digit, just let me rub this and write this again. So if we get SI as a digit, if SI, if is digit SI, is digit SI, then till the time it is digit, okay? Is digit is a library. Then we will have num is equal to num into 10 plus SI minus this 0, right? Num into 10 plus SI minus 0. This is what we have done. So once this is done, if it is not a and we will increment I plus plus. Okay. Continuously we'll say. Once it is there, then we will see how long it is there, right? That's why first we check if it is digit, then while how much time it is, the numbers are digit. So we will get the value of that character, say 123. So continuously we will have this value. Once this is done, then what we do, we suppose after the 112 is minus, right? So we need to decrement the I since we have increased the I, so that since it is a for loop, it will increase again. Okay, and our sum would become sum plus is equal to num into sign, whatever the sign value was there, and we will make num as 0 and sign as 1, so that the new value doesn't have the previous value content. Okay. So in this way we will evaluate the digit part. Once this digit is done, if it is not a digit, if say SI has a minus value, okay, so then what will happen? If SI is equal to hyphen, then we need to, so by default sign is positive, plus we don't need to have an issue. But if sign is negative, then we need to make sign value as -1, right? Else if SI is equal to bracket sign, if we get a bracket sign here, then what do we do? Well, we discuss this issue, we will discuss this problem, right? So when we have bracket here, say if you take this example, right, 5 minus 4 plus 5 minus 4 minus 2 plus 3. Okay, if this is the expression, we got the value 5, then it's a negative value, sign becomes -1. Now we have this 4 plus 2 that needs to be evaluated, but we have already some expression existing over here. So what we will do, we will store the expression, right? So we will store stack dot push make pair, okay, or we can make pair, or we can directly make pair is a library. So stack dot push, what we will push in the stack, we will push this will only make a pair, the sum and the sign, okay. So we push this sum into sign into stack, okay, and then what do we do? Once this sum and the sign is put in the stack, we'll make sum as 0 and sign as 1 again, so that the next operation can be done without thinking about this. Okay, we'll understand. If SI is equal to this bracket, what does this mean? We need to evaluate the whole thing, right? This whole thing needs to be evaluated, okay? Or maybe this whole thing could be have been here, whatever. We need to complete this, whatever was there in the value, this whole thing needs to be evaluated. So this is there now, okay? So say this case only, we have pushed 5 and minus into the stack, okay? So so I'm dry running it while coding it itself, okay? So 5 and minus 1 is there in the stack, okay? And now we have got this bracket, so we will complete this operation. So 4 comes, 4 will be here, then plus is there, we don't have any problem. Again, when 2 comes, so sum plus whatever the previous sum was there, num into sign, 4 plus 2, 6 will be, we'll have the value as 6. And now, so we have the sum as 6 now. And previously we have 5 and minus 1, okay? So we calculated this 4 plus 2 over here. Now we get this bracket. So what we will do over here, we have this sum and we have this value. So our new sum, what would be the new sum value? Okay, new sum would be sum equal to stack dot top dot first, that is 5, plus what was the sum? 6, but 6 was minus, so if it was plus then it would be multiplied by 1. Since it's minus, this whole thing is minus, so stack dot, we don't know what it is, so stack dot top dot second, stack dot top dot second into whatever the value was there, sum, into sum. So you understood it? So sum becomes sum plus stack dot top dot plus stack dot top dot second, so which was negative, minus, and this 4 plus 2 was 6, right? So we already calculated sum as 6, right? So 6 into minus 1, so this becomes, since we have got this bracket, so 5 will be evaluated, plus minus 1 into 6. This is 5 minus 6, so it is minus 1. So we got the value of sum as minus 1 now. Got it? Now we have sum as minus 1. Now we get plus value, we ignore it okay. So once this is done, our num and 0 sign will be changed again if the value was different. So we already changed it here itself, so we don't need to worry. Okay, num and sign is already, so this for loop ends here, and this is the sum. We are done with the code. So here see, minus 1. So we got plus, we don't need to worry, and we got 3. So 3 will be evaluated here, and sum will be minus 6 minus 1 plus whatever the num value that we got into the last sign value, so which was 1. So minus 1 plus 3 will be 2. So our answer is 2, right? 5 minus 4 plus 2. It is 6, minus 1 plus 3 is 2. So in this way, we will be able to solve this problem in order of n time complexity. Basic calculator evaluate expression. The link to the question has been given in the description. Please try it yourself and then come to my code walkthrough section. Here is the code walkthrough of the 46th question, basic calculator or evaluate expression in the LeetCode platform. You can see these are the examples, 1 plus 4 plus 2 minus 3 plus 6 plus 8. We have already discussed the examples, 3-4 examples, and you can see in this question has been asked recently in Facebook, Microsoft, Amazon, and in between 6 months to 1 year it was asked in Google, Apple, and TV show as well. Okay, so this is an important question, and let's see the solution. Whatever we discussed, we have this sum, and we are taking long because the value could be a large value, and we have this sign, and we have stack of pair, and we are traversing the string. We are getting the value in the beginning. Here if it is digit, then we find out the value, and we will have the value. We will again make the sign as 1, and yeah, num here itself is, it's making here in the beginning is as 0. We made it over here while discussing the code. And then we see when it is a bracket, then we push the value into the stack, and then we update the sum and the sign value again. And if it is bracket is closed, then we have the sum value here, and then actually we pop this value, right? I didn't pop this value. This needs to be popped because the operation has been done already in the stack, right? So we don't need to store the previous value. Okay, and then if it is a negative, we update the sign value. Okay, so yeah, let's run this code. So we can see we have got the test case covered. So we'll submit the code now. So it has been accepted. I hope the explanation is clear, the code walkthrough is clear, and see you all soon in the next video where I'll be explaining the 47th question of the problem solving series. Jai Jinendra.